going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the NBA Slate Starter Podcast. I'm Eric, joined with my buddy Ryan as we break down, I have no idea how many it is. How many is it? 6 game NBA DFS Slate on DraftKings, FanDuel and Yahoo. Again, I did all of this lovely prep, about as much prep as I did with my lineups before the show, which landed me on 100% Joel Embiid on DraftKings, which he ended up putting up 61. I think it's going to work out for me. We shall see here by the end of the night. So much value, so many guys going nuts here right now in the early going of this late night hammer. But Ryan, how is your night going?
Not as good as yours. I did not fall into 100% Joel Embiid. I have some Embiid, but I fell on a lot of, obviously, Kiefer Sykes and a lot of Indiana. Kiefer Sykes didn't pan out for me, which he was one of my higher owned guys. And then it's just it's going to come down late night hammer. Anything can happen by the time this slate ends. I have a ton of these guys in this late night hammer, so we'll see who comes out, and we'll see if we even get 3/4 of Giannis, which would be disappointing if we don't.
Yeah, it wouldn't be great. I can say that because I have a lot of him. I had a lot of him, a lot of Doncic, a lot of Embiid, obviously. 100% Embiid on DK, but obviously FanDuel, I was able to get my CSV in. Yay, but not 100% Embiid. Boo, that's bad. You know what? Actually, while I'm doing the thumbs up thing, which I haven't done since 1998.
I don't think you needed Embiid on FanDuel.
No, you probably don't, because you can play power forwards over there and gives you a little bit more versatility to kind of land there. DraftKings is more of like a raw points thing where I think that might work out for me.
Yeah, I think Embiid will definitely work out pretty good over there. I mean, unless if you played guys like Hartenstein or if you fell on Trae Young, which would be nice. Trae Young is he played really well tonight. I know, it's a great spot.
Well, I'm currently winning the mini max by 12, and I'm winning the $4 right now. So we'll see how it ends up panning out by the end of the night. And both of those have LB in it. So we'll see. Guys, smash that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. The $1. I apologize. I'm a liar. See how this happens? You click on the wrong thing.
I missed those contests.
I'm literally, hang on. We've had this conversation a while. I've been kind of on the fringe for a while. I don't know how I'm still able to play in these at the moment, but I just ran it on the deal again. I'm still under the million, which is very nice. I know you missed them, but guess what? I don't miss you in them.
Yeah, no, they were really great for a long time. I enjoyed them. Those are the best ROI contests on the site. They're a hard contest to win, but they're the best ROI.
If you don't have Awesemo Plus, sign up at Yahoo immediately. I know we normally do this promo midway through the guard. I'm going to change it up today. Boom. New Yahoo users, you get 1 free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum when you deposit $10 or more and play in any paid contest. You want to know how you can be profitable in contests like DraftKings, like the mini max or the $1 or the $4 or the $15, all the things that Ryan can't play in as well. You can play the 15 and the 4, but I digress. No matter what, if you want to play more lineups, which is the Awesemo way, if you want to be crunching and using Fantasy Cruncher here, go get Awesemo Plus Platinum. Now, it doesn't have Fantasy Cruncher with it. You could get the add-on, quick add. I believe it's like $30-$40 or something like that to add on to it. But just $10 will get you all the tools that you can then upload, use your optimizer of choice, and win an absolute ton of money across the DFS space. If a duck like me can do it, anybody can do it. So I want you guys to sign up there. New Yahoo users, sign up, get every single sport, not just NBA, but NFL for the Super Bowl, MMA, PGA, NHL, streets are in full effect. Check it all out. It's a blast. I'm telling you right now, I love making lots of lineups, even when I'm on shows. And, sometimes it's difficult to want to go completely nuts certain times when you're hosting to take care of it. But you at home, when you're watching the shows, when you're building along at home, these are the best tools in the industry that you will find anywhere to help you win money. So check them out. Stop guessing, start winning. Join us at Awesemo, but do it through this Yahoo promotion. Whew. I haven't done that all year. That's the first time that I haven't done it after the guard spot. It felt a little frisky because now I know that we're going to be able to just go through this show uninhibited. Ryan, you ready to get going, my buddy?
Let's ride. Yeah, this is getting interesting in the late night.
What happened?
No, it's just that I'm concerned that no one in this Milwaukee Lakers game is going to get there.
That'd be bad for Giannis exposure, but we shall see. It's going to be a fun sweat regardless of what happens here. So let's get to it. At the top end, we've got at guard LeBron James on a back-to-back. That's what really worries me, is that they're going to be playing a bad Portland team. And, well, if you're down infinity to Milwaukee, which they currently are, you might look at a spot where you just take LeBron, AD, and Westbrook off the floor now so you save them for tomorrow. Obviously, a very winnable game on the road in Portland with this new Portland regime. We'll see who's even active. DeJounte Murray, 10-6 for the Spurs here, 10-6 against Cleveland. If Darius Garland is going to continue to be out here, we've got the Q tag next to him, so we'll see if he does or not. I really, individual defense matters when it's Darius Garland a little bit more as opposed to Brandon Goodwin. So DeJounte Murray 10-6 would become a little bit more appealing. Steph Curry is now third on the list here. He's down to 10-3 going up against Utah. That remains Gobert-less. That makes them better. Even though he's not a perimeter defender, it helps the overall defense. And Russ, 9,200. If you get AD or LeBron resting, that could be enticing against Portland. This is the kind of matchup where you would expect that Russell Westbrook could just do his old Russell Westbrook things, even though he's certainly not of late. Talk to me about the top end of guard, Ryan.
Yeah, top end of guard is going to be interesting. 6-game slate. Games are it's the night before the trade deadline. You already know what that means, so be cautious. And there are definitely trades in the works that we don't know about that can definitely be could happen during the middle of the game. So. Proceed with caution, but yeah, spinning up for guard, LeBron James seems like an ideal situation. 10-8 versus Portland. They're getting waxed right now as we speak, so we might get kind of a semi-rested LeBron James on a back-to-back. He seems fine to go to. I like going to him over Curry and DeJounte Murray. Curry at 10-3 is fine, but I think I'd rather just save the $2,000 and fall on a guy like LaMelo Ball at 8,800. Or Van Vliet at 8,700, 40-plus minutes for Van Vliet. It's tough to turn down. But taking a look in the tops here, there's Anthony Edwards, there's Donovan Mitchell. Both of those guys are fine to fall on as well. They have the upside to take down something in a 6-game slate. But if you want to spend down a little bit more, we have the Hayward-less Hornets, Rozier and Oubre. Get a little uptick there. Oubre gets some extra minutes at 5,600. Don't have no issues if you fall on a guy like him. The Portland value is kind of priced up. CJ Ellaby, 4,400. It's a little too expensive for me to go to Ellaby at that price tag. I know the minutes will be there, but things can change. I have no idea if guys like Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Josh Hart will be available tomorrow. So keep an eye on that situation. We saw De'Aaron Fox return today, started. I feel like he's good to go. He's at 7,700, and that's pretty solid upside to fall on De'Aaron Fox. It's kind of his show now.
How bogus are the Kings? I mean, we didn't talk about the trade at the get-go. I talked about it with Greg on the...
I don't think it's as bogus as people made it out to seem.
What I'm saying is De'Aaron Fox basically had been fine to play for like a week. Our friend Greg Ehrenberg didn't just say it on the Live Before Lock show. He said it in our group chat where it's just like, there's no way that De'Aaron Fox wasn't there playing a little bit of a puppet master being like, you know what? I'd like to have the ball in my hands. You want to know why I'm not playing so well? It's because I can't have the ball in my hands at the same time as Halliburton. They can't work in a pick and roll. You know who can? Fox and Sabonis. So do you see anything there? Because obviously I value Halliburton the same way that every talking head on SportsCenter does because he's unbelievable. But I want to hear from you because you're a sharp guy.
I actually don't. I mean, Halliburton's a good player. Don't get me wrong. Good contract, rookie player. Headed the other way. I just don't. He's not as good as everyone on Twitter. NBA Twitter is just full on pants off for Tyrese Halliburton is. He's good, but he's not that good. He's not as good as Domantas Sabonis. Sabonis is eons of much player than Tyrese Halliburton. And I actually don't. I think the head to head, the Kings got the better deal. I think they got the better trade. Their team became better than the Pacers. So that's what you're looking to get, your team to get better. And I think the Kings got a better team at the end of the day. So that's how I believe so. And I know it's a hot take, and I just don't think – I think it was a pretty even trade. I know they gave away young, promising talent, but I think the Kings became a better team at the end of the trade. Yeah, I think that's why I was laughing at NBA Twitter. Is why are they all up in arms about Tyrese Halliburton? I know he's young and puts up great assist numbers, but he's not as good as Domantas Sabonis. No way.
To point guard, top end on FanDuel, DeJounte Murray's 10-6, Steph Curry's 9,500.
You think Halliburton's better player than Domantas Sabonis?
No, but one has one of the best contracts in the NBA and one does not. One is a guy that The Kings are not in win now mode. That's the other problem that you're. So I'm not talking about.
I don't care. I don't care if it's not win now. It's just making your team better. They made their team better.
I know one team ends up winning a title at the end of the year, and eventually,
well did they make their team better? You're done. They made their team better.
Indiana increased their title odds within the next 5 years in a way that the Kings did not.
I don't know about that. They're not good. They have to fight Giannis for the next 5 years.
Ryan. 21-year-old Halliburton, Domantas Sabonis, who can't shoot. They don't have a single player on the Sacramento Kings who shoots over 32% from three. You know who else was in that package? Ya boy, Buddy Hield. It's the Buddy Hield package, baby. Two of the two best three-point shooters on the Kings are now in Indiana, and Indiana is in a spot where with Sabonis and Turner, like maybe Turner, if Turner could get healthy ever, I mean, that would be great. You're looking at a team that I think is pretty darn decent. And I'm not saying the East is ridiculous this year. So this is not about a team going to win now, but the Kings are so far removed from a team that is semi-competent. Now, Harrison Barnes, decent piece. De'Aaron Fox, if healthy and in the right situation, now handling the ball all the time, decent piece. Domantas Sabonis, all-star. Like, I'm not saying that he's a good player, but like the goal is to win championships, right?
Well, for them, they have to at least like make an effort to get in the playoffs, and I think this was a solid effort of them getting a chance into the playoffs more consistently. They're not going to win anything with three guards there. I just was shocked that everyone was pants off for Halliburton. Like Sabonis is a darn good basketball player. He's a much better basketball player than Halliburton is right now. But Halliburton,
Sabonis is getting paid a year.
That's irrelevant. No one is cutting the checks on NBA Twitter. Vivek Ranadive can pay all those checks. He has a fuck ton of money. He has more money than all of the audience combined watching right now. He doesn't give a damn. He can write all the checks as he wants. So
18.5 mil per year for Sabonis. That's actually better than I expected it to be.
Fantastic for an all-star.
That's better than I expected.
Fantastic for an all-star.
All right. Well, you've pushed me more towards this isn't the most egregious trade I've seen in a long time. Like it's more of like I still strongly disagree with this trade. If you're Sacramento, ship Fox.
No one is coming. No one is signing in Sacramento. All-star players aren't signing in Sacramento, so you have to go trade for them.
Yeah. So ship Fox off and play with Halliburton and Sabonis in a pick and roll.
That could clearly didn't work out. No, people probably didn't want Fox, and if they asked for Halliburton, you get an all-star player. I don't have any issues with the trade for Sacramento.
Honestly, you are like in the 1%. You know that, right?
Yeah, I'm in a lot of 1% of many things, but you know.
Like the top. There's 45 different routes for what we just did. First of all, we haven't gotten this spicy on the NBA Slate Starter maybe ever. Probably been a long time. Maybe since I went on my tirade against how bad beat reporters are at their jobs. I will say there's been a drastic increase in the number of them. NBA News really has taken a step up this year. We've been getting informed very early on things. We know the guys too. We know the problem childs. We know Nick Nurse will lie. We know Popovich will really, really lie. But like for the most part, News has gotten a lot better. But Ryan, that is quite the take, my friend. I applaud you for taking a stance against the grain because that is a tough one for me to stomach because, again, I'm a Halliburton. I have a blind spot for Halliburton. He was a 12th pick. He should have been like the 3rd pick. And I had said that all of last year.
All-stars don't sign in Sacramento.
True.
If you can go get an all-star player, Sabonis has been an all-star player a couple of times. So you go out and try to get him. What are you going to do?
Okay. I get it. I get what you're saying there. I totally get it. Yeah, just didn't see that coming from you. Buddy Hield. You're not even
a bunch of trades that you won't expect. The NBA trades are like the trades that go down is knowing that nobody hears about. Yeah. All the rumors, they never really come to fruition.
Save the tape here because if you're right about this is something you want on your resume. About. Yeah, it is. If the Kings make a conference finals in the next 3 years.
Oh, this is like
this would be a win. No, I'm saying that you're on an emotional free roll. You're on an absolute free roll.
I don't need to be right or wrong. I'm just saying they got the best player in the trade.
Yeah.
And if that's not what matters in trades, then what does?
Halliburton plays pretty good defense, and he's really good at distributing. He plays basketball the right way. I think
Halliburton's going to disappoint in Indiana a decent amount.
You are killing me. We have to keep going because people want to listen to DFS, but I want to revisit this when we get off the air because again, I'm just curious on some of your takes. Actually, you know what? Maybe if we can get through this for the people, because I want to make sure that we give them the DFS content. I can already see the comment section below going, "Oh my God, I didn't come to listen to your takes about whatever." But also, this is an NBA podcast where we talk about the NBA. This really matters to DFS purposes going forward. You think Tyrese Halliburton with no Karis LeVert, no Domantas Sabonis, and no semblance of anybody around him is going to disappoint real life and fantasy?
Brogdon's going to come back and he doesn't get the full reign of being the point guard with Brogdon. That was the issue I didn't get. The problem is they can't even trade Brogdon because he did an in-season extension. So I was like, what are you doing?
Well, and he's dinged up and it's ridiculous. And I think Halliburton has proven he can play off the ball a little bit. He's been decent off the ball when Fox has been healthy.
Yeah, but to maximize a guy's efforts, you got to put him in the best position possible, and it's not with Brogdon right now. And Brogdon's going to come back soon, and then TJ Warren's going to come back soon, and it's just like how it goes.
I can't wait to watch it though. Halliburton's still good. He's not bad. You're making it seem like Halliburton.
I'm saying the Kings got the best player in the trade.
Okay. Oh baby, so. I love this. I love that this is happening. By the way, Thursday, if you guys don't tune into the Josh Engelman trade deadline show, because I'm pretty sure that that's happening. I can't remember a show that at Awesemo that I enjoyed as much as that one last year. It's epic. You need to tune into it. The guy who does the process show in the mornings, you know him. You may or may not love him. You know, it can go both ways, but let me tell you, his trade deadline show is fantastic because everybody who thinks with monopoly money, and as you said, Twitter likes to cash a lot of the checks for owners. That's not how real life works. You have to make decisions. Same reason that Lakers fans aren't going to get Russell Westbrook out of LA. It's just not going to happen. Now I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning. Russell Westbrook will be a Knick. That's kind of how this works, right? Like that's how this works. All right. Should we just start again? Should we just start at the guard position on TK? No, let's get to FanDuel. Let's keep it moving. DeJounte Murray 10-6, Steph Curry 9,500. Maybe I'll timestamp it so everybody knows where to get to for the next piece of DFS content. But dude, that was a great conversation. Donovan Mitchell 8,800 there, coming off of an eruption game. Now facing this Golden State team that defensively is definitely had it. Karis LeVert, again, I don't know if he's going to be available here in this spot. We'll see because physicals and you have to double check everything to make sure it happens. I mean, we saw they had to reject that trade a little bit earlier and it all came down to a physical. Well, this is a more prominent player, but it's still the same example that rings true. But the guy I'm looking at, it's a back-to-back. We'll see if D'Angelo Russell coming back and playing. I want to see if he plays or not because I don't think he probably will here in this spot, but maybe I'm wrong. I really like Anthony Edwards in that event, 7,400. Talk to me about guard on FanDuel, Ryan.
Yeah, looking at the point guard, shooting guard spot on FanDuel, it's very simple options over there to spend up on guys like DeJounte Murray. Then there's 10-5 DeRozan, but spending down to LaMelo Ball at 8,400, I'm about it. Nearly all-star LaMelo Ball. So I have no issues following a guy like him. Van Vliet comes in at 8,500. He's a pretty solid option as well. So I like those guys in the eights compared to spending up over there. Donovan Mitchell, 8,800. It's kind of his show right now. Just getting all the usage that there is. And it's a little too cheap. I know it's a tough Golden State matchup, but no issues there to go to him. Garland returning from injury, a little too expensive for my liking. I don't mind De'Aaron Fox at 8,100. He's another guy you can take your chances on. But looking at the guys in the mid-tier, we have – it's going to be a tough situation in Cleveland with Karis LeVert entering the lineup there. I'm not sure what the minutes usage split-up is going to look like. It doesn't really help anybody that he's entering the lineup, guy who takes significant usage. Now, if you want to spend down a little bit, I think Rozier 6,400 is going to be very popular, as is Kelly Oubre at 61. But Anthony Edwards at 7,400 seems like a solid option as well.
Absolutely. All right. Whew. I'm recovered. To the guard spot, DeJounte Murray on Yahoo, our sponsor, $47. And hey, we don't have to do the ad here at the end of this. So I'm going to let you guys know, though. Yahoo, best rake. You could least amount of rake you're going to pay anywhere. Best Super Bowl contest. That's the only other thing I wanted to add here about Yahoo that I didn't talk about before. So check those out. De'Aaron Fox playing great, by the way, right now, 23.6. Like he never left or something. Like he's healthy or something. Steph Curry, 44. Donovan Mitchell, 38. And that's kind of where I'm getting at. De'Aaron Fox, $32, probably. If the slate started now, that would be my favorite play at the guard spot. How about you, Ryan?
At the guard spot over there on Yahoo, if the slate started today, yeah, he's a good option to fall on. No issues going to him, but I think you can definitely want to. I think there might be some value in the other positions to spend up here. Van Vliet at 37, no issues there. Rozier at 26. Those guys are fine, but Levine at 34 sticks out to me a decent amount to fall there. So I have no issues going to Levine there at $34. But if you want to spend down a little bit, we've been messing around with the OKC value as long as there's no SGA and Ty Jerome. No SGA, Ty Jerome and Trey Mann stick out at their $10 and $12 respectively. Outside of that, we got word that Klay Thompson will not play tomorrow, I believe, and play Thursday. So that's going to open up things for a guy like Jordan Poole, maybe potentially Gary Payton as well.
Love both of those shout outs. Let's head to the forward spot over on DK. LeBron 10-8, DeMar DeRozan 9,600, Pascal Siakam 9,400 going up against OKC, Anthony Edwards 8,200, Miles Bridges 7,800 going up against Chicago. Very, very fascinated to kind of see what happens now. Gordon Hayward, he returns. He's a landmine for everybody at 5K. It's a bummer that he ended up getting hurt. Looked like a pretty substantial ankle injury. Said he's out indefinitely. Miles Bridges, Kelly Oubre, PJ Washington. With no Cody Martin as well, I'm feeling like we got to be rostering a lot of all of those guys. Who's your favorite from Charlotte at the forward position, Ryan?
Favorite from Charlotte on the forward spot? It's got to be one of Kelly O, probably.
Okay. That would be like second for. I like Miles Bridges' upside, but yeah, Kelly Oubre's been incredible of late.
Yeah, Kelly Oubre is also one of those dark horse 6-man of the year guys as well. He's been playing pretty well. 3-point upside. He's knocked down 7 threes in a quarter, I think, twice this season. So pretty impressive from Kelly O. But to spend up for LeBron in a matchup versus Portland, I just think LeBron just wants to catch up to Kareem. He could care less about the rings now. I think he just wants to get that Kareem record and play with Bronny. Those are his next two big accomplishments, I think. I think he knows the team as constructed right now is not a championship contender, and what needs to be done in the future, I just don't know if LeBron can facilitate that without taking a massive pay cut. But looking at other options, Pascal Siakam in an OKC spot, 9,400. I have no issues going to him. Anthony Edwards as well. I think he's the upside to take something down.
All right. Bottom end, do you have anybody cheap? Because I'm looking a little bit further down here. We have Chimezie Metu. I think Sacramento is going to be a very fascinating team to talk about. Today, we had no Richaun Holmes playing. That kind of popped up for a personal reason. So a personal reason / maybe a trade. I have no idea, but take it at its word. We have Damian Jones starting. We'll get to him at the center spot. He is absolutely annihilating if you played him on the late slate. That ended up being nice. But Chimezie Metu, 4,200 at power forward. Mo Harkless ended up getting dinged up in this game as well. I think Metu has a chance to start in place of him there. That makes him very, very viable. And Harrison Barnes on a back-to-back, I don't really care. This is a Minnesota matchup. He should smash as well, 6,600. What do you think about them?
Yeah, there's another team. I think they're not done making trades either. So we'll see what they end up trying to do. I think Harrison Barnes is someone I expect to get potentially shipped out as well. But who knows what they're going to do. But looking at other things, I think Justice Winslow at 4,500. I know he might disappoint a lot of people at 3K today. But I have no issues if you fall on him. The minutes should be there if there's no Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Josh Hart. In terms of Greek,
you can do it.
I can't say the word right now.
Do it.
I think Portland had a much more whack trade than
egregious is the word.
Egregious. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. It's all right, Patnaik.
Egregious trade.
I will always have the worst pronunciation. I will never forgive myself for that. Continue.
I think they had definitely the worst trade of the day, and that's 2 days running. It feels like after they trade. Oh well, when they traded him on Sunday, but what their new GM is doing and president of operations is doing, I have no idea. It feels like Paul Allen's wife doesn't want to spend any more money. So they just want to get under the luxury tax. But yeah, I think definitely taking your chances on the Charlotte forwards is completely fine.
Yep, I think that's what I'm going to be doing. Let's head to FanDuel. LeBron 10-8, DeMar DeRozan 10-5. So crazy seeing these prices. Bless you. You okay?
Yeah.
What was that? Did you sneeze or did you drop something?
I dropped something.
Oh, I'm sorry. You okay?
Yeah, no, I just dropped the light.
It's all right. I dropped the hammer on my Kings take. No, I didn't.
You didn't.
You did.
You didn't say anything to back it up.
What did I say? Oh, Tyrese Halliburton, 21 years old, best contract in the NBA. You heard it. Best contract in the NBA. 21 years old. The ceiling is the roof, as Michael Jordan would say. Rest of the forward spot, OG Anunoby, 7,800 here. We've got Jared Allen, 7,600. Kevin Love, 74, starting to get priced appropriately. Yeah, Harrison Barnes is 7,100, and it's weird that I might actually pay it. That's probably not a good idea, especially when you have Miles Bridges. Chicago, Charlotte. That game will be popular, and that game should be popular. Give me him at 7,200. Give me Kelly Oubre at 6,100. Give me some of this Sacramento value that I'm sure is going to pop up, so long as Harkless doesn't play here again. I think that would be something I would want to get to. Talk to me about forward on FanDuel.
Yeah, forward on FanDuel, I think Anthony Davis, nice spend-up option, even at 11-2, will be very low owned. But I think the upside for against Portland is definitely there for on a 6-game slate. Disappointing today, but keep an eye on that situation. I think PJ Washington, in terms of the spend-down options, he's been playing more minutes, but the minutes are definitely more risky there. We saw Darius Bailey just continue to crush at 6K. Keep in mind there, the minutes I think can drop. If there's Pokuševski returns from the G League, that doesn't help him. But if Pokuševski stays in the G League, I think he can definitely be fine. Boyan Bogdanovic, 5,400 is another option to go to. The upside just to get you there based on scoring volume, he can do it at 5,400 for sure. Now, LeBron James, 10-8. If you were to play a Laker tomorrow, I wouldn't fault you if you fall on LeBron, but I'd prefer 80 over LeBron just in terms of overall matchup and upside. I think Anthony Davis has that within him to be the preferred Laker. But outside of that, power forward, small forward, kind of weak.
Yeah, it's not the best position I have ever seen in my life. To the forward spot we go. Looking down here, we got LeBron James, $55. We got 43, DeMar DeRozan, Miles Bridges, 32. Kind of an interesting spot here because then Kelly Oubre is 21. You definitely, I think, want to get those savings and go down to him. We've got some guys near the floor here. I don't think Chris Boucher is going to be my guy, although I will say he's been decent of late. Maybe eventually they give him more than 20 minutes. I'm not going to bet on it, but probably my favorite guys here. Chimezie Metu, $12. I'm just going to keep saying his name over and over here because I don't know who else is going to play minutes if there's going to be no Holmes for a personal issue and if there's going to be no Mo Harkless. And that's an assumption that he's dinged up here. I don't think he's going to return tonight, but he's there. That'll be a pivot. CJ Ellaby is just destroying right now. Has 24 fantasy points at half. I bet he ends up being popular. He'll probably start again tomorrow. They have no reason not to play some of these young guys. But once again, pay attention, see who's starting, who's playing, and doing whatever else. I don't think anybody will be available yet, but we shall see. Talk to me about forward, Ryan, over on Yahoo.
Yeah, looking at the forward spot on Yahoo. I think this is where you want to play Miles Bridges at $32. He makes a lot of sense there, as does Anthony Edwards, both at 32. I think my preference would be still Anthony Edwards over Miles Bridges. It's just the shot volume could be 10, 15 higher for Anthony Edwards than Miles Bridges. If you want to play a Charlotte for another one is Kelly Oubre at $21. Seems fine to go to. Harrison Barnes priced favorably here at 23 though. Lou Dort, 23. He's okay. I wonder if this game's in Toronto. Is it in Toronto?
It's in OKC.
It's in OKC. He is Canadian, if for those who don't know that. I think
you love those narratives, my friend.
Oh, yeah. It works out. It works out sometimes. But if you want to spend down here, you've been mentioning Chimezie Metu. He's $12 here. Everything opens up the way it potentially could. He's pretty solid. Now, I think Marvin Bagley at $14. If he plays, I'd be excited to go to him. But I don't know. We might even get Sabonis active for this Kings team tomorrow. So I have no idea what's going to be available for Minnesota. So I have no issues. If you just want to go to Anthony Edwards and Miles Bridges here, everyone else seems priced pretty appropriately. Andrew Wiggins, $25. No Klay Thompson. The upside is definitely on the table for him to take it home.
That would be a guy that I would throw out as well. Let's round this out. Center spot we go. Anthony Davis, 10-1. They're getting annihilated, but he could annihilate if there's no LeBron or no Westbrook. But the three of them together, you can still invest in Anthony Davis. That'd be my favorite of the three at that price, 10-1. Karl Anthony Towns is still there. Sacramento, part 2, 9,700. Excuse me. Vooch, 9,500 we're looking at against Charlotte. He's been a double-double machine of late, but with all three of them back, I doubt that I get over any of these Chicago guys. Nurkic, 8,200. We've got Jared Allen, 8,100. Jakob Poeltl, now this will be fascinating, 7,500 for him. He is such a feast or famine human being. We'll see where that ownership lands, and I would want to play it. But, man, Utah, Azubuike played 28 minutes, got the lion's share of the minutes at the center spot from Utah. Couldn't have gotten more frustrating than just one field goal attempt. Absolutely nothing. Foul trouble for Hassan Whiteside. I don't know what to make of these minutes. I don't know if it's just because of the foul trouble that Hassan Whiteside only played the 20 because, it was 24-24, pretty even split the game before. Do you have a lean on Whiteside or Azubuike, considering I'm pretty sure Azubuike is going to continue to start in Gobert's stead?
Yeah, I think last time out, a lot of people thought Whiteside might start. I was lucky enough to switch on to Mitchell Robinson and kind of helped my lineups a lot as my night didn't go as bad as this one scene the night before. So Robinson put on a career 2020 game and really helped all my Gordon Hayward lineups really get there. So I do think we won't see as many Whiteside minutes in a matchup versus Golden State where we could see Rudy Gay at the 5 potentially as well. It can definitely go very small real fast in that type of environment. So Azubuike or Whiteside, no real interest in either one of those guys. I would be shying away at the center spot. I think the opportunity cost is extremely high when there's a Cat, when there's an Anthony Davis. We've been seeing Pascal Siakam get those minutes, and now a Nurkic maybe in his final game as a Portland Trailblazer as well. Definitely, and I would rather go up there than go to either one, Azubuike or Hassan Whiteside.
We should let Portland know that I'm available. They can play me. I'll go get one bucket. I'll go 1 for 20, but I'll get a bucket for them. I can promise them that.
Maybe. Now, I don't know if these guys will be available in the player pool if like Alexander Walker and Josh Hart make it out in time if the trade clears, but
yeah. It's a lot of unknown. And again, I will say what helps is that it's the late game. So like there's more of a chance that they could get it through possibly just because there's more hours that go into the day. #math. We shall see though. I have no way of analyzing that other than just when I'm told they're playing, I act like they're playing. And when I'm told they're not, which is the assumption you should probably have going in, considering all the stuff that goes into trade clearing, the physicals specifically. I just want to throw it out there that, it's a large investment. If I spent $10 million, $12 million a year on something like Josh Hart or something, I would want to make sure that he was healthy. And, I see no reason that he's not at the moment, but we'll see if they play or not. Who knows? Anthony Davis, 11-2 over on FanDuel. That is a gigantic price we're looking at, but does have the power forward eligibility. Cat, 9,900, going to be far more popular there at that number. Jakob Poeltl doesn't have an outrageous tag on FanDuel anymore, 7,800, but Yusuf Nurkic, 7,700. As you said, maybe a showcase game, not that he needs to be showcased. I think people are aware he's good, but I have a feeling, Ryan, I can tell you who the most popular center will be. Sub 7K on tomorrow's slate. There's no doubt in my mind it's going to be Damian Jones. Damian Jones is going to be the chalk. He is absolutely destroying up against Minnesota. Got the start tonight. When you get Damian Jones starting over a fantasy point per minute guy, he's pretty darn good. He's got like 26 right now at halftime of that game. People are going to see that and just plug and play him. What do you think about Damian Jones chalk on FanDuel tomorrow?
I don't know. It's going to come down if Sabonis is available and if Holmes is available, right? If Holmes is available and if those two guys are available, Damian Jones probably doesn't start. assuredly. I don't think I'd be interested in going to Damian Jones if he's highly owned whatsoever. I think I'd rather want to spend up for Nurkic, even Jared Allen, 7,600. Those guys definitely stick out to me instead of going to a 5,500 Damian Jones, especially against Karl-Anthony Towns, where Jones is fine. Yeah, don't get me wrong, but I think late swapping onto Jones like tonight makes a lot more sense than dealing with that type of ownership going into a slate. Big difference there, I think. Spending it for the opportunity cost is pretty high at center, where the Jones floor is pretty darn low, I think, just because of the presented nature of the matchup.
Happy freaking LB night. Good Lord, he's at 30. This is just madness. Did you have some LB tonight?
I did not play LB tonight.
Okay.
I did not play LB.
To Yahoo we go. He will be popular again tomorrow. You can fade him part 2. That will be good. Anthony Davis has 47.
I mean, it was tough to land to LB at 4,300 when there was Lance Stevenson and Justice Winslow and Chris Duarte.
LB was 3,400.
43 on FanDuel.
Oh, 43. Yeah, 43. That's different. That's a different play. I definitely am in agreement. And Justice Winslow is like 4,400, and straight up, I would have taken Winslow.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anthony Davis. Julius Randle is the highest scoring player.
No way.
Yeah, he got the 60 or something.
What?
Yeah, he's at 58.
That's silly. 58. That's absurd. And all garbage time in a game, they were down 20, and Jokic didn't close.
Evan Fournier does it again on a Wednesday night.
This podcast has been one of my favorites. It's been around some places, but we're recapping. By the way, I'm in a good spot in some things. We're gonna have a fun sweat. We'll see how it ends up panning out here at the end of the night. But regardless, Joel Embiid night was fun. Center, we go $47 on Yahoo. Our sponsor to round it out: Vooch 42, Pascal Siakam 42, Karl-Anthony Towns 41. Then we're looking at Nurk 32. Hello, that's a great discount. 22 for Hassan Whiteside, but $11. A Duka Azubuike and a $12 Damian Jones. I mean, that $12 Damian Jones is the absolute nuts. What do you think about that for tomorrow? Considering, if Holmes isn't going to be there, if anybody else isn't going to be there, do we just fire that up at will?
I don't think so. I think I'm not that excited to go to Damian Jones if he's going to be that popular.
He will be that popular. I'll throw it out there.
I mean, yeah, if he's popular, I'd rather look elsewhere. I'd rather double spend up here for center. I think Karl-Anthony Towns at 41 makes a lot of sense. That's pretty cheap for Cat. I think even PJ Washington for $1 more, I'd rather do that than Damian Jones. Jared Allen at $31 as well. Yeah, I think the opportunity cost is too high. I'm not sure what the Damian Jones role looks like tomorrow. I know if Holmes is out, it definitely helps. But if Sabonis is there, I don't know what's really going to happen in the front court rotation, and Bagley might return. So there's a lot of things up in the air before I think just landing on Damian Jones.
All right. Damian Jones right now, 28.3 on FanDuel at the half. That is massive. We'll see kind of how it pans out. 10, 5, and 4. I don't see 5 assists in his future tomorrow. That's for sure. But I've always liked him. He's always treated me well. Too cheap, I think, on Yahoo and DraftKings. But Chimezie Metu is indeed starting for Mo Harkless in the second half. I was correct about that. That's nice to feel because I feel like that would be the starting lineup tomorrow. Get ready for some Metu. Mo Harkless, with his ankle injury, will not return. That is the last word on that. So anything you want to revisit for Sacramento as we get out of here? Anything? Do you feel better about Metu than you do Jones?
Do I feel Metu better than Jones? Yeah, I just think there's too much up in the air with that team. Who plays tomorrow? Who's available? There's guys like Jeremy Lamb that could play for them. It's just a lot of moving parts there where things can change up there.
All right, my friend. This was an eventful one. That was some fantastic content. If you don't like that one, if you don't like spicy, if you actually, you know what, I could guarantee you one thing. One person is going to say that I'm an absolute dunce cap because, that I feel it coming. You and I are both going to get conflicting people going back and forth talking about why each other are wrong. And guess what? We're all right because nothing's happened yet.
I mean, either way, whatever happens, it really doesn't change. It's just a different team.
It's a very different team.
My life really doesn't change regardless. I just thought Whoever gets the best player in the trade wins the trade.
I hope Sabonis plays tomorrow. That'd be hilarious. He's not going to play tomorrow. But Ryan, any final words for the people?
Why wouldn't he play tomorrow?
That'd be awesome if he did. I'm just saying that, like, that's a lot of stuff you got to clear to play the next day.
Didn't Norm Powell played like the next day?
Wasn't it like 2 days later?
Okay.
I think it was 2. And he came off the bench. It was almost like, hey, we got to make sure all the paperwork needs to, we need all our T's crossed, I's dotted. You're so over me. Any final words for the people?
No.
Okay. He's Ryan. He's got awesome takes. I'm Eric. I just go along with all of the people who say all the talking head things on SportsCenter. That way I can never be right. And if I'm wrong, well, everybody else was wrong too. That was a really long sign off. We'll see you guys tomorrow.